Every day, chat and chart live during the New York session. Here, real traders share the raw truth, their mindset, technical analysis, and execution. This is where real traders show their skill set. Welcome to Tradin TV. This is your stage to shine.
Hello, traders. Hello, everybody. SAIF, are you here with us?
Hello. Yes, I am here.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you so much. Traders. I mean, SAIF, you are here regularly, so they, get to speak with you, ask you questions,
Yep.
hear you talk and learn from you. I'm here occasionally, and I'm really excited for this for two reasons. One, that I get to have an amazing co-host with me, where we will get to talk about reflections on trading, and also you guys, that we can actually connect. You can ask us questions, and you can kind of, direct this session, this conversation rather, and where we're going to go with this conversation. Now, first of all, I want us to reflect on 2025. SAIF, what do you think of that idea to kind of, take it back a little bit and think of the lessons, of the downfalls, of the comebacks from 2025?
Yeah, sure. That's a great place to start. 2025 was like a big lesson. I think I'm speaking for almost every trader because it was a roller coaster. We saw craziness in the market, not only volatility. If you go back 1 year, exactly 1 year from today, we saw gold was dropping like crazy. It was around 2,500 because people thought that Trump will be solving all the wars in the Middle East and the Russia-Ukraine conflict.
Yeah.
And now 1 year, 365 days later, now we're at an all-time high, $2,000 away from where we were 1 year ago. So I think only this example can show how 2025 was a crazy year.
Yeah.
Not only that, we saw a major crash in the stock market during 2025. It was back in April. We saw the Nasdaq 100 reach 16,000. Now it's at 25,400. So like it's been like quite a year. For me as a trader, the first half wasn't as good as the second half because Trump was messing around a lot in the first half. But then after I understood what he wants and I understood his agenda, I started to trade accordingly. And thankfully, it's been like a wonderful year in terms of trading. And that's pretty much it. What about you?
Fantastic. No, I like the kind of wrap up of the year, like how everything you have explained. And as you were explaining actually about what happened in the markets, I was thinking about what I've seen in traders. What I've seen in traders was a lot of success. I saw a lot of growth. I saw a lot of success stories at funding pips, and that's why we started the initiative of actually highlighting the successes of our traders. But I also saw struggling traders who are stuck in the same cycles, in the same behaviors, in the same loop when it comes to growth, when it comes getting closer to their goals. And I think there are two factors for us to consider. I think there is number one that you said, well, my first half of the year was not as great as the second because I had to understand what is happening economically in terms of Trump, in terms of where the politics are going. Yeah. But then we have, I guess, this sector of traders, and we have the second sector that doesn't matter what is going to happen in the markets, whether there's going to be an amazing rally on gold, whether there's going to be a crash. They will not utilize the opportunity. They will be stuck in the same behavioral loop, and they will keep on perhaps self-sabotaging or making choices they shouldn't have. So for me, actually, the first half of the year was a great half of the year, whilst the second half of the year, I could not find myself in the markets because I was not used to certain patterns, I suppose, especially with gold keep on rallying and rallying and rallying and never stopping. It's something I've experienced for the first time. I've experienced COVID, but that was only very much at the start of my trading. And by start, I mean 2 years in, okay? To me, that was still a start.
But even COVID wasn't as big as this one.
Precisely.
It was like the rally was $200. Now it's $2,000 in 1 year.
Yes, exactly. So, and I remember I was not even looking at gold back then. I was only trading major pairs, majorly GBP USD, Euro USD. But in terms of gold, once I entered that market, this experience was the first experience for me, and I've been trading for 7 years. You know, so I can imagine like the kind of impact it might be having on traders, etc. So I struggled to find myself in that market, you know, and understand. But the beauty of it all is the experience, same as in life, same as in anything that we experience, whether that's work, whether that's university, whatever you are doing. The same in trading. Every year is teaching us something. But I want to highlight here to our traders who are watching us or will be rewatching us to actually learn how to learn from the markets. Because I think sometimes there is a misconception between experience in the markets and actually extracting lessons from those experiences in the markets. So what are your thoughts on that?
Correct, absolutely correct. I think you know, let me just, before I answer this, today I received a very nice message from one of the guys watching Tradin TV. And he was like, I finally got funded, and it's because of the lives that you guys make. So I wanted to tell you, and that was a great wrap up to the year. So yeah, so this was like this made me happy today, and it's nice to see how grateful people are. We do our job anyway. We show up. We do what we're asked to do, which is just like teach and educate. But people are actually grateful, so that's a heartwarming thing. That's the first part. The second part about feeling yourself and learning how to learn. You know how I'm going to answer this, don't you?
Go on, but I don't know whether the viewers know.
You know my answer. My answer is write down everything that you do on a journal. Yeah. So you know my answer already.
Yes.
So the only thing that would make you go forward and learn from your mistakes is looking at your mistakes, whether you like it or not. But if you just make the mistake and just like sleep on it without writing it down, you're going to repeat that mistake.
True.
That's simple. Like, you're human at the end of the day. So don't count on your memory and like don't think that I've learned my lesson. No, write it down, because you're going to repeat that same mistake if you don't write it down. That's the first thing. The second thing is I think Tradin TV. That's why I started with that story. Tradin TV is a great platform for people to learn, for people to ask questions and get answered. So I think everyone that actually is eager to learn, Tradin TV is a great place to start, and to even not only to start, just keep watching, because it does make a difference, and that's what I started with. What else can we tell people to focus on in 2026?
The lessons. So let's focus on the lessons, because sometimes of course I knew what you were going to say, and I absolutely agree with you, but there is a problem. People don't fully reflect on what's being said to them, and they want to speed up that progress. So it is really important. And we're not talking here about new year, new me, or maybe we are, I don't know, but this is your opportunity to actually start fresh with I would say a fresh notebook, when you start a new journal on your new year, 1st of January, etc. And this is where we actually discuss that in our recent, I think about 2 weeks ago, trading psychology on Funding Pips YouTube channel. So we talked about actually goals, because very often I feel like traders don't know where they are going, what they are heading for. They may say very vaguely, oh, I want Funding Pips accounts, or they may say, oh yes, I want to deposit and trade my own capital. But it is important to be specific about what we are going for, and that's not to restrict ourselves, and that's not to expect too much from ourselves. That's actually to manage expectations, to understand our abilities, capacity, financial capacity, emotional capacity, what it is that we want to achieve. And I know myself from my own personal mistakes or lessons, let's say, even from this year, sometimes you want to bite too much. And, you know, this is exactly what we have discussed is at first, you may be satisfied with $50 from your trading day, then $100, then $500, then $1,000, $2,000, and it never is enough. And this is where goals will keep you on track, because at the end of the day, there is a difference between utilizing an opportunity in the markets, i.e. when we have the rally, like yourself, you held a beautiful trade, rallying to the upside. I very much, to me, it's like a trade of the year that I remember, you know. But then at the same time, you may utilize an opportunity once a year or once every few years when you have such market conditions is absolutely fine, but you need to focus on one thing: sustainability in the markets. Sustainability and taking that little part out of the markets day by day. And that's not to also expect profits every single day. That's to have an average, what you are aiming for. And once that target is near or hit, even in one trading day, don't think, oh, if I can get it in one trading day, then now I can repeat that pattern for the next 5 days, and I'm going to have 5x of what.
That's not how markets work, no.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't work. And you may get away with it for a week, for 2, but then the market is always going to catch up on you. So, the biggest lesson for me, I would say, is all about behaviors. And if you repeat the same set of behaviors and allow yourself to be too lenient on your behaviors against your own rules that you've set for yourself for a certain reason, it will bite you back. And, it's really important for you to understand what are the behavioral patterns you engaged in this year in terms of the good and the bad, because going into 2026, you should fully understand what are your good sets of behaviors, because all of you have good sets of behaviors. And then you should also fully understand what are your bad sets of behaviors, because those are holding you back. It's almost for me like, when you have a hair bubble that is, let's say, attached to something, you can never move forward until you let go of what is holding you back. And what's holding you back is certain sets of behaviors that you keep on repeating. And sometimes receiving profit in the markets will encourage your bad behaviors. You will think, oh, it's okay, it's going to work out, but it is never going to work out. So, there's this famous saying that you cannot expect different outcomes repeating the same behaviors over and over again. Clearly, you need to kind of lay it all out for yourself and kind of pick out this worked, this worked, this worked, this didn't. And this has set me back because I was too greedy, because I was rushing the process, because I was doing X, Y, and Z. It's really about that honesty towards yourself, right? And now a question from me to you to help our traders who are watching us is how to dissect from your trading behaviors this year. What should you look at? What should you look at? How should you look at the choices you made in the markets, the trades that you took? Because I know your approach. We had plenty of those conversations, and you usually also pay attention to risk management, because the risk, it's where it starts, right? When it comes to your appetite, risk tolerance, where you can emotionally as well have the ability to manage. So how would you help the traders to dissect from your perspective?
Well, okay. Let me start by commenting on what you said regarding goals. I have one take on that, which is don't wait for a new year to change. If you know what you need to change, start today. That's number one. Number two is my biggest lesson, because you said what's yours. My biggest lesson this year was um, a reinforcement of a belief that slowly is the fastest way to go.
Yes.
Yeah, that's undeniably the best advice that I could give anyone. That's number two. Now, regarding what was your question? The last
My
thing.
question was how to dissect the lessons, because you and I may talk about what is important, but how would we actually tell traders step by step how to become better based on the reflections from this year? You know?
Okay, now first of all, you break your goals down to smaller goals. That's number one. Your target is to become a consistent trader, like period. Okay, start by becoming consistent for a day, then for a week, then for a month, then for 2 months, and voila, you have it. That's the first step. Break your goals into smaller bites that are easier to achieve. If your goal is to make $100,000 in 2026, okay, break that down into smaller goals. Like my first goal is $1,000, $100, whatever. It's just an example.
Yeah.
So that's the first step. That's what I do to solve any problem, and I'm saying it's a problem because like that's a mental problem. I want to be in like in a place that I am not in today. So that's a problem, even if it's not a problem in like the conventional meaning, but that's a problem. So the problem solving steps go as follows. You start by breaking down the goals to smaller goals. That's what I have to say about this. I think someone is asking something. My biggest lesson was more closer you get to yourself, the better you get at. Exactly. That's a great. Can we have this on the screen so that everyone can see it? I think Umayma can do that. Anyway, so someone is saying my biggest lesson was that the closer you get to yourself, the better you get at trading, which is something I absolutely agree with because if your life is a mess, and we've talked about this, Paulina, before, if your life is a mess, if your brain is a mess, if you don't know what you're doing tomorrow, if you don't know what you're wearing tomorrow, obviously you'll struggle in trading.
Yep.
So getting to know yourself and arranging your life and organizing your life in a way that makes you comfortable and makes you understand how you operate and how you function, then that will make you a better trader, definitely. It's your friend Pearson Hardman. Oh yeah, that's the guy that I was telling you about, the guy that got funded. Congratulations again.
Okay.
Okay, so what is the proper way to do journaling? I think I'm going to let you answer this because you journal better than I do.
Yes. So, see, when it comes to journaling, you have to fit it around yourself as well, and you need to recognize, what it is that you need to record in terms of data to improve yourself. Now, the best way to improve yourself undoubtedly is by data collection. And now this goes to when you do any scientific studies, psychological studies, finance studies, mathematical studies. Data is power. Data is driving, and it's giving you, so you have the hypotheses, and then you have gathering of the data and analysis of the data, and the analysis of the data will tell you if something is significant or not, whether the result is actually something that you should take into consideration. That's how we ever found out in science that things work or don't work in anything. So it's the same in trading. You need to collect data in order to understand whether your system works, right? So first of all, there's first part of data collection is understanding your system. And I would break it down into two, okay? I would break it down into fast data collection, which is backtest, because you can go through months of data, years of data in a shorter period of time, and you can accumulate hundreds, even maybe even thousands of data points to tell you whether your system works in a market. Then once you gather that information, which I would advise at least 100 trades, at least 100 trades for you to understand. This is a simple sampling. 100 trades, whether something works. Let's say always London session, always entry on 5-minute time frame on a break and retest. That's it. Let's say that is the pattern and a session that you are testing. Once you have, okay, there is profitability there. I have, let's say, 40% win rate. I can see I am profitable because you were going for 1-to-3 risk-reward ratio, and you have that there. Then I would take the 100 trade sampling into the live markets, but I wouldn't trade live. I would forward test. So I would either use the demo account at Tradin and open that and then trade, or just do simple forward testing. Why? Because now you are starting engaging psychologically in the markets. When you collect the data from the past, it's more automated, although my psychology was always involved, and I was even struggling with losses in backtested data at the start especially. But then when you actually move into a live market, let's say with demo trading account, then you can anticipate the markets, plan the entries, wait for the entries. And majority of the problem, and this is why I need to highlight, and what I see from traders over years, over and over again, is actually not the system. It's the timing of the system, whether you execute and allow the time to, first of all, for the entries to come to your entry points and prices based on your patterns that you have predetermined and tested. And number two, whether after taking a loss, you are going to lose your head and take another 5 trades, or you are going to actually wait for another entry, which might be the next session or the next day. So that's how you then determine and manage that system psychologically and in real time. And that reveals everything in terms of your psychology. So this is where the second part comes of journaling. So the backtested journaling, obviously, is there is entry, time, price, stop loss, profit, and outcome of the trade. Very simple. And then you get the percentage at the end, your losing streak, winning streak, etc. When you take that data to forward test, this is where you start observing yourself. The patterns are already confirmed. And this is where you start observing, how did I feel before I entered? Did I hesitate? Was I confident? What happened when, okay, maybe you were confident entering, but then you saw that the trade is hanging around your entry point because it's consolidating, and you started losing faith in your system. So then you started moving your stop loss, or you started doing X, Y, and Z. And this is where there becomes a data collection and journaling on your emotions before the trade, during the trade, and after the trade. And not only emotions, but your behaviors. What did you actually do when you felt those emotions? Did you act on them, or did you restrain yourself from acting from them? Because emotions will come, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure that SAIF sometimes maybe still experiences a certain type of emotions, being in a trade or planning a trade or entering a trade or managing the trade. But as you recognize the emotions you experience, you get to know yourself as a trader, as a person. You understand how you act in different circumstances in the markets, whether you're more risky, whether you're more reserved. And then that's when the management techniques of yourself come into play. Because if you're a more nervous trader or more risky trader, you then need to understand, okay, when I feel this, I cannot do this. We all feel emotions. It's not that the more you experience the market, or that, you know, you're more profitable trader, that, okay, the emotions have switched off. No, they are there, but you just don't act on them. So there is a lot of different stages to journaling. It's not as simple. There is not a simple answer that, you know, I can give you now a magic potion or a magic formula that you can just execute on and it's going to happen. Absolutely not.
Record in the way that makes you understand what
Yes.
happened there. That's it.
Yes,
Record
exactly.
whatever that has happened to you. You know, you just said something that I still face the same emotions as before. I think a couple of weeks ago I was live with Rosa, and I told her the day before that live, I told her I caught myself feeling the need to trade, or like I wanted to revenge trade.
Okay.
I was like, whoa, that's new. That's like I haven't felt that for a while. Although I was like green for the day. I was in profit, but that one trade I lost. I wanted to make it back. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. I wanted to make that trade back, but I caught it in the right time. I was like, no, 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 no. I know this. This is revenge trading. I'm not messing with that. I closed my laptop and I just left. Yeah. So as you said, the emotions will always be there.
Absolutely.
It's just how you react and how you decide to react or not react according to
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because you always have a choice. Always have a choice. So I know it feels like you don't. And your brain will trick you to making a decision immediately to fix your current situation. But that's your brain being literally on a panic mode, because your brain, the way our brains are designed, and I want everyone to understand this, is your brain will choose to relieve that pain short term, even if it has bad consequences long term. Whereas if you get yourself into the stage that I'm okay to feel uncomfortable for the short period of time for a long term reward, which is, you know, preserving your trading account, that's when, you know, the winning comes. That's when you are sustaining your account. So that's what SAIF did. He was kind of feeling it, experiencing it, but he was like about to do it. And he was like, I know where this is going and I have a choice. And my choice is no. Did it feel easy to walk away? Probably not.
To be honest, yeah, it was easy. It was easy because like I've done it maybe a million times before.
Okay,
so,
there we go.
like the first couple of times, of course, it wasn't easy. You want to make that money back, but at this point, I really like I don't care. I'm just gonna like I'm already up for the day. I don't need to trade. I'm only trading for fun at this time of the year anyway. So like why am I feeling those emotions? No, I don't want to mess with that. I'm just gonna leave.
Interesting.
So yeah.
Very interesting that I actually experienced that. I am like, you know, interested now and intrigued myself.
You don't experience revenge trading?
Oh, I do, absolutely. But I have stopped trading for December completely. So I'm actually having, you know, very happy, reflective time. And by reflective, I don't actually actively reflect. I'm resting my mind from the markets at the moment. So to the point that yesterday one of my colleagues said, oh, gold is at all-time highs again. And I said, I don't know. I'm not looking at the markets right now. You know, so
I don't care. Yeah.
I'm actually not in it. Don't tell me. Great. Not my business. None of my business. Because
not for now. That's
I
next
know
year's
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's 2026 Paulina's vision. You know, at the moment, because I know what's going to happen. I exactly know what's going to happen, because this is where actually we want to highlight to you, because there's something that SAIF just said. Yes, it felt easy to walk away because I've done it a million times before. Now, for me, I said yesterday to my colleague, cool, but I'm not in the markets right now. I'm taking my break in December, and I'm not interested, because I also know when it's going to lead to. And you only learn that from the mistakes. It doesn't just happen. You can't take shortcuts through the mistakes. Yes, of course, we can give you, from our experiences, little shortcuts, but those are not shortcuts actually. Those are, I would call it this way, like, bear with me. You know, when you drive in a car and you're driving somewhere for the first time, so you kind of, every road is new, you really closely watch the GPS where it's going to take you. But we took that road already. So we can tell you, oh, instead
There's
of
a
this
T on
road,
this side.
yeah, instead
Yeah,
of this road, take this road. There's going to be traffic there at this time. So you're still taking the road, but it's just slightly easier. We are guiding you through it. So you're
exactly.
still taking the journey, but the shortcuts don't work.
Great
We can't,
analogy.
yeah, we can't tell you, don't do this, do that, don't do this, do that, and you're going to skip the process. No, you will make mistakes. You will get
Beat yourself.
frustrated with yourself.
You beat
You
yourself
will,
up for it. Yeah.
yes, and it feels horrible. I've experienced that. SAIF experienced
Of
that,
course.
and we know that feeling is one of the most horrible feelings I've ever felt in my life, truly. And
Yeah.
and this is where truly no one understands the trader like another trader. That's why a trader doesn't get another trader. Like, I understand that feeling, that heaviness, that frustration of wanting to take the time back. And you're like, why did I just do this? You know,
Yeah,
you
it's frustrating. Yeah.
it's frustrating. You really struggle to understand yourself. But it's important for you to embrace that stage, because that stage is one of your biggest teaching moments ever. And it's up to you whether you're going to continue and you're going to learn something from it, or whether you're going to throw that lesson to the trash and just feel like that again.
Repeat the mistake over and over. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So, you know, it's really interesting, you know, with what trading does to us. But I want to now, you know, talk about something else that SAIF has mentioned as well. And this is where I'm going to ask you some questions about it too. You know, SAIF said, well, if your life is a mess, this is a mess, your car is a mess, how do you expect for your charts not to be a mess, or your decision making not to be a mess? So this all goes back to a topic that, you know, has been over exaggerated on social media. You know, the morning routines. You know, what's that guy's name that he puts his face
Yeah.
in?
No. I'm not talking about that. No.
I know, but I'm just saying how social media
eyes, guys.
has
You don't need eyes.
destroyed it.
Yeah.
But the point here is you need to bring discipline into your day, and that discipline is going to showcase in a certain way. At the same time, you need to also be a human. But speaking of discipline, etc., I first want to ask you, SAIF, like, what do you do to stay disciplined in the markets? You know, you've been through such amazing journey, you know, trading for banks and hedge funds and all of this. And, you know, you had to, I know you've been trained a certain way, in more, it's like military for traders,
Yeah.
you know, yes, sir.
Exactly.
I come from a background like majority of our traders, which is learning yourself in the markets and being a retail trader. But you know, you're still a human. So even though you went undergone that training, like saying me as a psychologist, I've been trained a certain way. But then when I went into my first job working, you know, in whether that was mental health services, etc., I had to learn how to deal with it. So how did you learn to deal with it? How did your daily routine, or what kind of things do you still do in your life right now to keep yourself, you know, intact in the markets?
You know, there's no one right answer to this, because whatever works for you works for you. For me, like, even as a kid, I was like an organized kid. I don't like mess, and I don't function well when my life is messy. So I understood this about myself, and I decided that let me organize everything else, and then start looking at the market, because like, being disciplined is a choice, as you just said. It's a choice. You always have the choice. Either you're disciplined or not. It's like a branding that you like. It's a label that you put on yourself. It's either you're a disciplined person in general. There's no like disciplined trader, but in life they eat bad, they stay up late, they drink every night. No, like there is no such thing. So either you're a disciplined person or not. So start by actually deciding or choosing to become disciplined, and then everything else will follow.
Yeah.
Like, just ask yourself before doing anything, like, is that what a disciplined person would do? Is that something a disciplined person would do? Yes or no? Yes, then let's do it. No, then no, let's move to a better alternative. So for example, for me, answering your question about daily routine, I like to know what I'm going to do tomorrow, because I don't know if that's true, but I've been told this in the past, and I'm happy to believe it's true, which is like your brain organizes the thoughts while you are asleep. I don't know if that's true, but I believe it is. So what I do is, I plan my whole day the night before. I plan what I want to eat, what I want to actually know when I plan what I want to eat. Every Friday, I make a schedule for the whole week. So I know exactly what I'm eating tomorrow and after tomorrow. Like if you ask me on Friday, I know what I'm eating on Wednesday, for example. So this removes the pressure of deciding
Yeah.
or making decisions, because we're in the game of making decisions, and you need high quality decisions in the markets, right? So if you just remove all the small decisions, like what you're going to wear, what you're going to eat, what time you're leaving, what time you're going home, what time, the whole thing, what time you're going to the gym. Once you have all of these like decided and already like planned, all you need, like your brain power is only focused now on the markets. Like your decision making is like, or your decision making power, so to speak, is now focused on the markets, instead of like draining that power or decision making power on small things. So that's how I think about it. I like to prepare beforehand almost everything in my life. So so that when I reach the chart, I only think about the chart. Everything else is sorted. So that's to answer your question.
Oh, that makes sense, and it's true. Actually, it's the decision-making fatigue, you know, that you will experience eventually in your day. And also imagine, so you're making a decision about your trade, but at the same time, what you're going to eat, what you're going to drink, what you're going to do, what you're going to, like, there is so much coming at you. So it's about filtering out, the things that you can, you know, remove, and then, you know, tackle your day. So for example, I give you an example, and I struggled a lot to find a balance. And also, just to highlight, I used to have such structured mornings and days, especially when I was learning as a trader. And when I say learning, that's about 4 years to 5. Like, I would say first 4 years was just me fully learning and really embracing, you know, being a trader. And I used to have super structured mornings. I would do the whole morning routine, cold showers, reading, exercise, like meditation, breathing.
I don't do any of that, by the way.
I would do absolutely everything. But because I said to myself, I will do everything to make this work. So to me, there was no right or wrong. I was going to do anything to make myself more level-headed, more relaxed, so my nervous system is more regulated. So this, and so on, so on. Now, my mornings don't look like that. I want my coffee in the morning, you know, and I get my water in the morning. I make sure I'm hydrated and I'm rested for the day. I would prefer to sleep longer than do all of those things, because I know now what I need for the decision making is more sleep, as an example.
Correct.
So at the same time, I'm trying to be disciplined and balanced. And you should always, in my opinion, discipline yourself where you struggle the most at the start. So for example, if you're struggling with eating well, that's where you need to focus on. If you are eating junk food, if your diet is not too good, that's what you need to pay attention to, because that is what is driving your dopamine system. That is what is driving you towards comfort over what is good for you. Do you know why cold showers work?
Why?
There is biological power to it too. So actually, I don't know, have you ever done cold showers or cold plunges?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Okay, I did. I did, and I would say 80% of people, that statistic is from nowhere, but 80% of people that I have met and talked about this actually do enjoy it and have the same experience. You feel after like God, because you've just won a battle here, but then also biologically, it really resets your nervous system. It's really good for your skin, and you literally, you come out and you're like, wow, I feel like I can take on the world.
Yeah.
But there's another thing that's really important, psychological thing. It's the most unpleasant thing ever. And there is one thing that you have to do. You just have to do it rather than do, a little bit under the shower, because you will never step in. You just have to, get
Yeah.
yourself in there. Same with the cold plunge. Now, your brain will try to talk you out of it every single morning and say, no, but it's too cold, but it's winter, but it's cold outside,
It's
but
winning so
it's
far. It's like it's
6
been
in the
winning for the
morning.
past 30
It's,
years.
yeah, it's still dark. Stay in bed. No, not today. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe later. Maybe let's put the temperature up. Your brain will start playing tricks on you. And you not listening to your brain and still committing to that act, you won't have the battle, trading battle. Because you have done what you promised yourself to do rather than what your brain was telling you to do, which is exactly what we need to do in trading. We need to do what we promise ourselves to do rather than listening to our brain, what our brain is telling us to do. So it's actually a great training for not responding to your emotions and your thoughts, thoughts that are not always good. You should not always listen to your thoughts because you will see a lot of books on self-improvement and self-development. You are not your thoughts, because I don't know whether you guys heard of Dr. Joe Dispenza. He will tell you 90% of our thoughts are recycled from the day before. So there's only maybe 10% of original thought that we experience. So if you are, for example, thinking negatively or a certain way about yourself, then that thought is going to keep on coming back. So if you keep on listening to your thoughts, you can't get very far. That's why conscious mind and taking conscious decisions is really important rather than referring back to those old patterns. But now talking about the routine, I myself, Monday to Friday, I'm super strict on myself. On the weekends, I allow myself to be a human, to relax a little. But Monday to Friday is true. I pretty much eat every day the same thing. I don't want to think about it. I'm on a mission to achieve something. So I would pretty much eat the same over and over again. And I don't mind that. And my actually body gets used to that. I would exercise during the week as well, also weekends too. But then on the weekends, I would be more like, if I want to fancy a burger, I will have a burger. I will not be in this, cycle of punishing myself, because sometimes when we go too hard on ourselves and restrict ourselves from
You
too
burn
many
out.
things,
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
that's when you snap and then you just go all in, and
Yeah.
that's not good.
That's not correct. And by the way, I learned this year. By the
Okay.
way, yeah, this
Is
was
there an example
one of
you
the
could give
lessons
us?
of 2025. One of the most precious lessons, because before 2025, like before the first half, before the second half, sorry, like when I looked back at it, it's like I didn't take any real time off for almost 3 years. Like imagine 3 years with no days off. Even if like I'm not trading, I'm doing something else. Okay, it's good. It's good for your future. It's good for. But you know what happened? I burned out. Like I had panic attacks, which like was very new to me. I never had panic attacks. I started having panic attacks. I burned out. I lost the will to work. I don't want to work anymore. So what I learned is that all you need is some time off. Like take a week off or like a couple of weeks off, that will make all the difference. And when I took like I think I took 2 weeks off, like from everything, like literally everything. I went back. I wanted to like conquer the world. It was amazing. I missed that feeling of just like feeling refreshed. So one of the lessons of 2025 is like give yourself some time off. Like you deserve it. You're a human. You need to take a break, because if you don't, you will burn out, and the whole thing that you've been working on will like just like go to waste.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
In order,
that's where I run.
you know, I say, if you saying that, and like, by the way, thank you for sharing, because, you know, maybe some traders are experiencing that right now and they have no one to tend to and or to understand them. Because I feel like a lot of traders feel this pressure of time. And this is the mindset from 9 till 5, I suppose, or the way that we are just brought up in a system that you need to, the more you work, the more you get out of the market. But that's not the way it works
Nine
in
to
a
five
market.
is amazing, but it wasn't 9 to 5. It was like 9 to 9. It was
Exactly.
crazy. Yeah.
Exactly. So, you know, it's the matter of, look, let's put it in simple terms. We need the sleep in order to be productive the next day, right? When you go to the gym, you need rest days in between, because what actually happens is your muscles grow during the healing process. Everything. I gave an analogy during the Formula One finals a week after. You know, the slower they take the corner, the faster they come out of the corner.
Yeah.
And SAIF said, the slower you take trading, the faster you're going to progress. It's all about yin and yang, right? All about that balance. In order for you to go faster, you need to slow down. You need to take the time to yourself. You need to rest. And you need to actually do that.
Have some like human emotion involved in your life.
Oh, yes, of course.
Like I didn't pay enough attention to my loved ones back like last year. I was like focused on trading and working and like busting my ass off for the people I love, but that's not what they want. They want my presence. They want to have me with them. So and you know what? It's therapeutic to spend time with your loved ones. So
absolutely,
don't feel guilty for spending time with your family. Don't feel guilty for taking some time off. Don't feel guilty for enjoying a night out with the boys, with the girls, whatever. Enjoy your life, because you will need that to recharge you for the week after and the week after and the week after. So that was one of the most precious lessons of 2025.
I love that, because balance is extremely important. And you know, I resonate with what you are saying, because I used to be very extreme as well. When I used to go on diets, you know, my diet was, I'm not eating carbs. I would not even touch rice. I would not even touch anything remotely to do with carbs, etc. And, you know, it's fine. It's fine. Like each to your own. If that is something that works for you, that is fine. But again, what trading taught me, what life taught me, what the combination of both taught me, it's about sustainability. So is my diet sustainable? I would rather to be, you know, okay, I give you an example. And this is the greatest example someone else gave me. It's about balance, referring to balance. So the example is, if you were eating junk food every single day, but 5 days in a month, 5 days in a month, you ate healthy, does that make you a healthy person?
Nope.
So then other way around. If you eat healthy all the time in a month, but 5 days out of that month, you're going to have some junk food, does that make you unhealthy? No. You know, and it's the greatest kind of flip and reverse psychology, because it really creates a nice picture for you. No, that wouldn't make you healthy, but that also doesn't make you unhealthy. It's all about sustainability. And I would rather in a year to enjoy my time, to follow majority of the time, 80% of the time, good diet. But like SAIF said, also go and have fun. Do this, do that. Spend time with your family, with your loved ones. Rest. rest, do nothing sometimes, you
Yeah.
know, other times go and hit the gym hard, like, but it's all about routine. I personally would go hard Monday to Friday, but weekends I really try to disconnect. Truly, I don't want to do any extra work, back testing. No, I will actually disconnect completely. Not always, because obviously we all have responsibilities as, you know, as humans, but I try at least one day out of the week to kind of take it easy on myself and just rest. And you know, I would recommend that to everybody, but everybody is different. And also what me and Saif are saying may work for us, may not work for you, because you may need more, you know, defined approach to yourself, especially at the start.
And
I told you.
there's an age difference. Don't forget that. You have more tolerance when you're younger.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I vouch
like
for that.
yeah, because like I think most of the traders watching us are like much younger than us. So I think
Same.
that also makes a difference because me 10 years ago, I wouldn't even thought of like having fun. No, no, what's that? Let's just keep like just keep working. So as you said, whatever works for you. If you're happy, like doing what you're doing and working hard with no days off, okay, fine. But be careful because we've took that road, and it's nasty. It
Yeah,
might reach. It might like lead you to burnout, and that's not nice. So
absolutely.
do whatever works for you, but be careful because there is a tree
Do you know,
at the end of the road. Yeah, so we've been through that road.
but you know what, Safe? I'm
Yeah,
thinking, you know, the traders that are watching us looking for answers, and it must be the most frustrating thing to hear from someone that you want solutions from say, do whatever works for you. It just,
yeah, but
you know,
that you
it's
know
true.
you know why it's correct because trading is very personal. Trading is
Yes,
not it's not a like you cannot do teamwork in trading. You cannot have like traders like all around you and like for example, if both of you and I are trading at the same session, I wouldn't want your opinion on my trade, and I wouldn't give you my opinion on your trade because that would mess up my trade and your trade. So that's just an example to explain how trading is not it's very personal, like it's not a team thing. So what works for you might not work for me, and vice versa. So that's what I'm basically saying. I'm not saying that I'm giving you solutions, but at the same time, um, what worked for me might not work for you
absolutely.
100%. It might work 90%, and you might have this like 10% to play with. But like the basic concept, yeah, we gave you the basic concepts, which is
Yeah,
like take some time off, relax, journal, like be disciplined, organize your life. Those are like the basic concepts that do work. But
yeah.
my version of being organized might be different than yours. That's what I meant.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. That's really important to highlight, you know. And this is something that, you know, Saif said about trading opinions, and this is where you guys need to really cancel out that noise from social media, even from the mentors that you might be looking up to. Okay, if you are learning from someone specifically, then fair, you may want their, you know, opinion on your outlook on analysis, but at the same time you need to become independent in the markets, because okay, and in Trading TV we saw that, you know. I give you an example. Safe would be saying, oh yeah, I'm planning a buy, but by the time the price gets to his buy, I already sold on 1 minute time frame and I'm out.
Yeah.
But then if I took it too hard, then I would be like, oh, should I sell? Should I not? Or like, it happens so many times, you know, that when the guys were saying, oh yeah, we are buying, da, 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 and I was already in sell, and then I was like, okay, I'm done. Look at Rosa, for example, the way she trades, even faster, you know, in, out,
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
So you can't rely on other people's opinions or kind of, you know, overwhelm yourself with that information. As much as information is good, you need to also filter out what you feed into yourself, because the information you feed into yourself is supposed to elevate you, not drag you down and make you doubt yourself. it's really important for you to understand that. And it's very important for you to understand that you cannot take the shortcuts. You need to really take a deep look into yourself, because I guarantee you, all of you already know what you're doing wrong. You already have it. You just really need to be ready to put in the work, because you're not going to get away with it, and the work needs to be there. The work ethic needs to be there. You need to reflect, and you need to be like, yeah, I suck at this. I need to be better. Stop lying to yourself or lying to others. No, but just, the market condition was bad. It's just because the gold is no.
Yeah, don't make excuses, but
It's
also
you.
don't be very hard on yourself. I suck at that is not something I would say to myself. Maybe that area of my work needs a lower, or that area of my trading needs work. I try to avoid talking negatively to myself. I know that's not what you meant. That's not how you talk to yourself. But I'm just to make things clear.
No, that's a very good point. It's important.
Yeah, try to avoid talking negatively to yourself, because your brain or your subconscious mind does not know the difference if you're joking, if you're like just being sarcastic. It does not know the difference. I suck at that. You will always suck at that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's how it works. So I'm not sure of the numbers, but I'm gonna say them anyway. You can just fact check after the live stream. But the conscious mind has vibrates at 2000 bits per second. That's the frequency of the conscious brain, while the subconscious brain vibrates at 400,000 bits per second. So the real power lies in your subconscious mind. So if you feed that part of your brain, which is the most powerful, negative things will follow. If you feed it positive things will follow. So that's how it works, because it's I'm not being superstitious and like energy and stuff, but this actually works, because that's how your brain works.
It's neuroscience.
Yeah, exactly.
Precisely. But at the same time, you need to be honest with yourself.
Yeah, be honest, but you know something. I've heard someone say this in the past, and I forgot who, maybe like an actor or something, but it made all the sense in the world. Talk to yourself as you talk to a friend or someone you
Your
love.
loved one. Yeah.
Don't just if Paulina does something stupid, I wouldn't just go and say, you did a stupid thing. I would never do that, because she's my friend, for example. But so normally what people do, they wouldn't say that to a friend, but they would say to themselves, which is a huge problem. No, don't say that to yourself. Treat yourself treat yourself the way you want you treat a loved one or like a friend.
Yes.
Be nice to yourself, because it makes a difference.
Support, with compassion, but at the same time, truthfulness. But you need to, it's true, be compassionate towards yourself.
You can be honest. I wouldn't say Paulina, what you did was amazing, while what she did was actually stupid. I wouldn't say that. I would say let's work on it. That's the first thing I would say. Let's work on it. It can be solved, and it can be solved. I'm being honest, but at the same time I'm being nice. So you need to do the same thing to yourself. You cannot just be blaming yourself for every mistake. You are going to keep making mistakes every single day of your life, as a trader and as a human. So let it go and just be nice to yourself.
Absolutely. And honestly, guys, you have plenty of work to do based on the conversation SAIF and I held here and the topics we talked about. We will for sure do this more often. And, perhaps we will hold a session on goal setting at the start of the year. It would be nice to kind of, give yourselves direction as well, traders. But you have plenty to think about. Honestly, if I was you, I would listen to this session a few times to really take in that information and take that pen and paper and reflect, learn, and plan. And planning, like SAIF said, has to be broken down, which we also talked about in trading psychology. If you want a certain amount per year, break it down into the quarter, into a month, into a day. That's not to say again that you would expect profit every single day, but you want to have your averages in your mind, you know, what you are looking for, why you are looking for it. You know, don't aim for the stars, of course, do, and what you should want the best for yourself and have big dreams and goals. I'm a believer that, you know, anything you set for yourself, you can achieve. But at the same time, take small, repetitive steps rather than trying to jump from here to here. It doesn't end well. We've tried it.
Yeah.
We've tried it. It doesn't work out. And this is where you can take those advices on that road, you know, and know this is not the way. The way is to put in the work. And you can. Yeah, you are patient. You've got all of the abilities to do that. You great, smart people. You know, I respect traders so much because we just decide to take that burden on ourselves. You know, we are studying, working, having families, etc., and we think, okay, let me learn this from scratch. Let's see, you know, and then we spend years doing that. So we have the utmost respect for all of you, and you have the greatest ability to do it. You just have to make that decision and make comfort with discomfort. And that would be my final note. Saif, any final words from you?
Just be nice to yourself, and Merry Christmas, everyone. Have a wonderful end of year, and hopefully a successful new year filled with pips and filled with success, and have happy moments in general. That's it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much, Saif. Pleasure, as always, hosting with you. And guys, thank you so much for being here, and Merry Christmas.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.